Hello and welcome to Coffee Chat Monday, or Monday's Coffee Chat. Today we're going to talk about investing in your creative life, your creative self. I need this as much as y'all do. As you've noticed, if you've been watching my videos, I had some creative block. I had some traumatic events happen. I'm trying to get back into a schedule and a routine and things like that. Well, in order to do that, I need to get back on a routine, and I have to invest in myself and my creative life in order to do that. So I did a little bit of research and I found some things. I wrote down some notes about what I know that helps me be creative, that help me tune in and be present, be mindful of what I'm doing and the time that I'm spending on things and things like that. So we're going to talk about some of that. So what do you do? What do you do to be creative? When I was younger, I wanted to be all these different creative things. I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a photographer. I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to be a writer. Yeah, I think at one point I wanted to be in a band, but I can't sing. I wanted to be a dancer in MTV videos. I wanted to be a lot of different things. But almost every single one of those things was a creative endeavor, was in the creative realm. Well, I didn't actually really get into a creative life until I was in my 40s. When I wrote poetry and I did some, I guess they weren't poetry slams, they were coffee house chats when people read poetry. Some people did spoken word, some people did all kinds of things. I have a couple of coffee cups from the poetry reading things that I went to when I was at college. And that was in my 30s. I didn't go to college until I was in my 30s. And then I met Mr. Rockstar in my 40s, and when I met him, he was singing in a band and he was doing solo acoustic shows, and he was also driving a truck. He had more time then. He was local at that point, and he pushed me to pursue my dreams in a positive way. He reinforced support and belief and faith in me, and I started investing in myself because of all of that. Investing in myself meant doing NaNoWriMo and DIY projects in the house. I did our wedding DIY. I made the bouquets for myself and the mothers and the bridesmaids and stuff. I made the boutonnieres for all the groomsmen and Mr. Rockstar. I created our invitations. I did a lot of the work myself. My daughter and Mr. Rockstar helped me with some of it. My aunt helped me put the bouquets together after I created them from sheet music, and I made roses out of sheet music. And everybody was like, you should sell these on Etsy. And I'm like, this is too much work putting into those to sell them on Etsy. To create them for other people, too much work. I like DIY projects. I like anything that's creative. This spring, I want to plant a garden. I want to grow my own vegetables and herbs. I love creative things. And in order to be creative and to live a creative life, I have to replenish, refill my creative well. Investing in myself and my creative life, investing in myself as a creative person started with a lot of different things. One of those things was creating NaNoWriMo videos on YouTube. From there, I did journaling videos. I don't know when and how the coffee chat started, but they did. I then opened up Facebook groups, and then I went to Patreon. And now, after a year of being on Patreon, this is my 1 year anniversary on Patreon. I have learned a lot. I've learned a lot being on YouTube. I've learned a lot with the Facebook groups. I've learned a lot in a lot of ways with life. Life has taught me very valuable lessons. And the only way that I know how to invest in myself as a creative person is to do the things, to get on a routine, to be mindful of my time and how I use it, to be mindful of distractions, to disconnect sometimes from social media and all of the things, to stop or minimize procrastination, to take time for things that refresh and rejuvenate myself and that fill my creative well, to take care of myself. self-care. To get back in a routine, to establish a routine again of positive habits, habits that feed my creativity, like walking and morning pages and meditation and artist dates. I took notes, y'all. Because of ADHD, I'm still all over the place, so just bear with me if I'm looking down, because I did bullet points so I don't forget things. To read books, to watch videos, and I don't mean like cats and stuff like that. I mean actual videos that inspire and motivate me, art videos, writing videos, chats, coffee creative kind of chats. I love Jamie Riddler. I'm going to make a list. I'm going to do a video pretty soon in a coffee chat where I talk about my favorite YouTubers, and it'll be a variety of YouTubers, writers, journalers, all different kinds of things, artists, because I am inspired and motivated by a variety of things. I have my hand in a lot of creative coffee cups. Today we're going to talk about some books that I have, some books that are on my wish list that help you fill your creative well, that help you, that will help to invest in your creative life. So one of the books that I don't have that's on my list is The Creative Habit by Twyla Tharp. It's on my list, my wish list. The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, which I have, and it's over there in the bookshelf. Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. I don't have that one. That one's on my wish list. Art Before Breakfast, which I have right here. You Are a Badass. How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life by Jen Sincero. That's on my wish list. Wonder Book, an illustrated guide to creative, aiding imaginative fiction by Jeff Vandermeer. That's a mouthful. The Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin. I started reading this and started doing it, and then I stopped. Everything was going on and going crazy. I'm going to start over and get back into this. I'm going to read it in November, but I'm going to go back through and mark some things and then take some notes and starting in December. And Bird by Bird by Anne Lamott, which is up on my shelf on the wall. Those are just some of the books that I find in a variety of areas that help feed my creative well, that help keep me investing in myself and my creative life, investing in myself as a creative person. Now, sometimes when you think of investing in yourself as a creative person, you think about things, not books you read or on Kindle or real books. I'm a real book kind of person. I have some books on Kindle. I actually have a couple of creative kind of books on Kindle. There are other things, though, that people oftentimes will think of as an investment in your creative self. Your tools, for example. I had a real issue for a while about investing in myself as an artist or a writer to begin with, spending money on myself other than little things. In the very beginning, I had to work from an extreme budget, so I found very budget-friendly ways. My daughter gave me some supplies that she had extras of, and that came in really handy. My daughter is an artist. She has done commissioned work, and she keeps telling me I need to do some commissioned work, and I may do that. But for now, I'm doing YouTube and Patreon and a blog and writing, and I don't know if I have time for commissioned work, but I may think about that. So investing in myself as an artist, as a creative person, as a writer, it made me feel guilty. If I took time to write and I wasn't cleaning the house, if I took time to draw and to paint and to journal and I wasn't doing something else that I felt like I should be doing, if I spent money on supplies, when I bought Scribner, when I won NaNoWriMo, I kind of felt guilty. Getting the NaNoWriMo shirts, I haven't gotten them every single year, even when I've participated, because sometimes we just haven't had the money. And it should be a reward, but sometimes you just don't, you just can't. And then other times you can, and when you can, you still feel a little guilty. One of the things over the past year that I've been doing, and I've been doing this with my YouTube money and my Patreon money, is investing it back into myself. Now, sometimes that money goes to a bill, but most of the time, because Mr. Rockstar pays our regular bills. And I don't make a whole lot of money on YouTube or Patreon. So all it really does is invest back into things that I get to help. Things that I get to do reviews, like books or art supplies, things that I purchase when I run out of things. And some of it is a luxury, and some of that is just investing in myself as a creative person. One of the things, I got it in, y'all. This is the mama to the baby. And I set them up. I changed a few things. This has a little thing on it that says love, and I think I put it on backwards, so I think I'm going to get Mr. Rockstar to rearrange it for me. And when I'm going to show you, this is this has actually gotten a bit of use. So it's lighter. It actually has more red in it. Right now, this is actually darker. It looks brand new. It has one scuff on the back. It is new to me. I put my Snoopy with the heart charm on the front and the dragonfly right there. I do have a pin loop right here in the plastic cover, and this will actually fit and slide in the elastic. This is the Platinum Quasar. It's one of my favorite writing pens. I have platinum carbon ink in it. So I have the Breeze that I talked about, and I put the little plastic cover over it and put the watercolor of Snoopy writing a letter. And then I took this, which is a lined notebook. I had a couple of these from TJ Maxx. I think I got it on sale for like $2.99 or something. And then I put my commonplace journal in there. So it's set up, y'all. It came in this morning. I have it ready. Now, this that I showed you is going to house sketchbooks. And I have that in Breeze that has the planning stuff in it, and I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that yet, because I'm not going to put it in here. I set this up differently on purpose. So when she sent me this, she sent me a little thank you note, and I saved it because it's going in my journal with the washi tape that came on the bag it was in. And she sent me this little book, y'all. And I took the I took the Enigma and the Hobonichi out of here. I'm putting the Hobonichi back in the little black cover because she sent me this little book. I messaged her to ask her where it came from. It is a little hardbound book. This feels like, oh, what is that? I can't think of what it is. It's chipboard. And in this, you have a grid piece of paper, and then you have an undated calendar. And then you have a grid piece of paper and a plain piece of paper. And this camera is not going to pick it up very well. And then you go through, and it has pages like that. Lots of the grid, and then blank, and then grid, and then blank, and then grid, and then blank. And then you have another calendar. And then it goes through, and all the repeating itself. And then in the middle, it has black paper, y'all. All this pretty little black paper. And then you go back to the calendar. Y'all, red. It's got, look. I love this. I love this. Wouldn't mind having this in an A5. This would make an awesome bullet journal, an awesome omni journal, because you have a grid page and a blank page. Awesome, awesome omni journal this would make. I'm like in love with this. In love with this. Like I said, I'm ready. Believe it or not, who would have ever thought I would have chosen brown, well, it has red undertones, leather notebooks. Y'all. I'm usually a black or a red. I don't know what it is about these that I love so much. I think it's because if you're in the sunlight, it has this red undertone, and it is lovely, and it is really supple. And then I think, yes, and the Hobonichi is a different shade of red. So, y'all, it's just a new thing. Like I said, my Janelli fish, and I was working in this yesterday in the spiritual journal and this morning, and I will do some more work, and I will show you this and the 2018 Astro Moon diary planner that I got for 2018 with the Amazon affiliate money. If you look below, there is a link that says My Store, and that I have been adding to. It is what is called an Amazon influencer store. They sent me an email, and I am one of the influencers on YouTube. Hey, that's so wild, y'all. So I have a store on Amazon, and everything that I purchase from Amazon, and I do a lot of purchasing from Amazon because we don't have a Hobby Lobby here. My Michaels is rather small and doesn't carry very much at all. They have a lot in the floral department and the frame department and then the jewelry making, but not a whole lot in the art. Or the what would be scrapbooky. They have a lot of some scrapbooky stuff, but not a lot of what I see that I would want that other people are getting from Michael's or from Hobby Lobby and Joann's and stuff. And we don't have a Joann's or a Hobby Lobby. I am, like I said, my Janelli fish stay at home. I'm going to be conditioning this when I can get some leather balm. I really need to condition this. And I'm going to be putting my sketchbooks in it. This one and the writer and this one are probably, they're my very favorites. If I had to, my writer's Bible is my very favorite. My writer's Bible, hands down, is my very favorite out of my Janelli fish. And it's not necessarily, I mean, I love the colors because they're my custom colors, but it's not necessarily how it looks so much as the thought and intent that she put into it, because I gave her creative license with the typewriter that was engraved on it. I just told her what I wanted, and I told her I wanted it simple and elegant, but colorful and artistic, but like I said, simple and elegant. And I will eventually be buying my very custom Janelli fish. I want the field of roses with the dark tower in the background with the shadow of the gunslinger, not the actual, like, I want the gunslinger kind of in the shadow. From Stephen King's The Dark Tower series, Michael Whalen did that illustration, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I want Janelle to put her own take on it, though. I want Snoopy on the inside painted, and I want Snoopy made into a gunslinger, and I want his doghouse to kind of be the tower and on the inside. So I want fun on the inside and the more serious on the outside, and that is going to be my unicorn. I'm going to be putting my sketchbooks in here. I'm super excited about, like I said, the setup. I have some journaling to do, and I am going to my mom's this afternoon. So I'm going to be getting my cup of coffee and putting it in a to-go cup, and I'm going to go take a walk. And I'm going to do Patreon's Tuesday Talk, which is their coffee chat. And I'm going to be walking and talking outside because I need to change things up a bit sometimes. And I need to get some exercise and get some fresh air. And the leaves on the trees are starting to change. And the one that I look out my window is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to take a picture of it. I'm going to post it on Facebook. I will see y'all again soon. Thanks for watching. Have a great one. And tell me down below how you invest in yourself as a creative person, as a person in general. How do you invest in yourself? Thanks, y'all.